Burbank Review, LCQ Preview, and a Twitter giveaway. Let's talk some Halo. Hello, everybody, and welcome to HCS Now, the greatest show in a dark corner of the internet.
Dark corner.
You have found us. We got a good show for you guys today. There was a lot of Halo action over the weekend. The show before, we did a preview on the Burbank qualifier. And now we're going to do a review on the Burbank qualifier, and we're going to talk about how bad our predictions were and all this.
Not that bad.
Yeah, mine weren't that bad.
A little bit.
There was some upsets though, so let's get right into it. Let's talk about the winners first before we talk about the losers. Some surprise names in there I didn't expect to see, and it wasn't really an upset more than just I think a lot of people's predictions were wrong.
Yeah.
All these teams can beat each other on a good day.
Yeah.
But it just didn't. A lot of people didn't expect it to go this way.
Yeah.
E6 was a big surprise for me.
Yeah, I didn't expect them.
I mean, they started off strong, and they.
Just compared to last time, we watched them play. I didn't expect them to win it. I mean, I know I chose them for one of my predictions, but I didn't expect them to do as good as they did.
You did choose them?
Yeah, to go out of Group A.
I don't remember the predictions. But yeah, E6 came out hot. They, I think the first time they played was off stream. I think they played against Denial, and they swept them, and they were hot after that. And they came in and they played Optic, and Optic was not hot.
No, they was.
Well, let's hold off on Optic right now. We'll get to them. We're talking about the people that were successful this weekend. So E6, big surprise. The thing about Boobadooboo and Hook, they show up every time.
They do.
They need to.
Yeah. Which makes me wonder, I hear people say they make questionable plays, which may be true, but I don't know, I just see good things from them. I don't see too many negatives.
No. I was saying that they're the duo. They play good together.
Yeah. I'm not saying they're not there. I'm sure the bad stuff that people say about them is there, but I see more good from them than bad.
Yeah, they're definitely proven that they are not a fluke.
Yeah.
And when it comes
Stepped up to where it matters.
When it comes to the lands and they need to, they need to make the placings, they will definitely step up and do what they got to do.
Which makes me wonder, where are these kids going to be in a year or two from now?
Graduating high school?
I mean, how good they are, when they came into the scene, they was already good, and they got better this time around.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't been playing Halo for very long, and they're competing with veterans that have been playing for 10-plus years. So, I mean, I didn't really think about that. In a couple of years, these guys
they have a top team.
They're probably going to get together some more young guns and form a God Squad, and they will be the unbeatable team that everybody hates. So, I don't know. Now, another... I predicted this. Allegiance doing good.
You did.
Yeah. I predicted
and they did
Allegiance
really well.
Yeah, I had a feeling that they were going to show up. And I never doubt Ryan Noob.
That's true. And it's Allegiance just picks good players. They did good for Worlds.
That's what I was saying.
Their team got second.
Yeah, they do form good teams out of what's...
this one's doing pretty well.
You think it's okay, this team's kind of forming out of what's left of the players, but then they show up and they always do well.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't say these teams or these players are talented as any other player.
Oh, yeah.
It's just you don't ever expect them to show up and beat top squads.
Yeah.
Now we talk about E6, Allegiance, Envy. I knew Envy would do good or play well.
Yeah, they played well.
And Envy,
they had a little stumble.
They're definitely not online warriors, but they are really good on land. And Ola is showing he puts on a show on land.
He's definitely improved.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's a good shot though. When I watch him, he's good at accuracy.
And since he doesn't stream, you don't get to see a lot of Ola's gameplay.
I know. I mean, I think they want it that way though. They don't even stream together online.
Yeah, a lot of them, the whole
Yeah.
team really don't stream that
Yeah,
much.
you
Big
don't-
one, usually, sometimes here and there, but
He's showing back up with that sniper like in
Oh yeah,
Blizzard.
Migwin is back with the hot snipes.
Yeah, he is.
He was one of the top, if not like I'd say top 2 snipers in Halo H2A, and he's definitely hot in H5 with
Yeah.
sniper. I mean, yeah, granted H5 everybody complains about it being easy to hit shots, but it's not whenever at the top level. It's a lot harder at the top level to hit your
Yeah,
shots,
it's-
especially in a situation where you need to hit your shots.
Yeah, I was
You
saying like in a
don't cave
common
under pressure.
situation, in a very easy situation with sniper, you're most likely going to get it. It's just what separates a good sniper is their reaction time.
yeah, like,
you know,
say
like
you run across the hall, and you
yeah,
just pop it
and
off,
they
like,
just like zoom in and get somebody.
Yeah,
real
they
quick.
hit the shot before
Yeah.
you
Corner shots.
realize the guy's even there sometimes.
Yeah.
Renegades, they came in weak and they blamed it on they weren't communicating. When they first played against Optic, they were
Yeah.
saying, okay, we played against Optic, our communication was trash. We went back and we said, all right, we got to communicate better. And then they came back and who did they beat? They beat Denial, and then they went and beat Optic.
Yeah.
So they beat Optic after Optic beat them, and they beat them in 4-0 fashion. So it was dominating fashion. So it wasn't like maybe it was close or anything. Renegades, they're hot sometimes and they're not sometimes.
Yeah, that's what the thing is. But I honestly think it's a mixture of two of them being Optic. I think it was they found the communication, but I also think Optic was just down.
They tilted off the face
Yes.
of the
Yeah, it seems
planet.
like they do that.
like
Once they're down, they're
even
down.
like when they put the camera on them, they're just like looking just like
Well,
not even in it anymore.
if you remember the last show, we were talking about the honeymoon phase,
Yeah.
and how everybody gets along great when you're winning, and we're all happy-go-lucky, making jokes. This is so fun. And then as soon as something bad happens, like they were
They
getting
start blaming each
destroyed,
other.
they
Yeah.
even said they were fighting
They
after
were
that. And
bickering,
we
yeah.
predicted this.
Yeah.
As soon as the fighting starts,
Yeah.
the team is going to get tilted off
Yeah, Towie said it best. Like
their game.
if you get beat in the previous game, no matter how bad it is, you just need to
You
forget
need to find a
that
way to bounce
game
back.
and just focus on the next game.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of players and teams get too focused on what previously happened.
Yeah.
You know, they'll lose game one and it's like, up.
But even if
We're
you're in a
done.
game that you're losing bad, you still have to try. Like,
Yeah,
you still
that's
try your
saying-
best.
Yeah. They, even they gave up, easily. It seemed like whenever they were losing, they were like, all right, we're not catching up. Let's just,
Yeah,
give
but
up.
I'm saying you have to keep playing because for your next match, that's going to give you momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah, Optic did. A lot of people, including myself, expected Optic to show up and do
I
a lot
did.
of
I
work.
thought they would do really well.
I mean, when I first started, I was like, oh, man, Optus back.
And they're
maybe.
looking at their pool. They should have made it out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, they definitely
E6
should.
was not expected, and so that really threw them off, and where they couldn't get out of their pool because
Yeah.
they got beat by them. But I still have high hopes for this team.
I do too.
Still do,
But
and they got a lot of work ahead of them, though.
Golden Boy made a good point. You know, someone brought up, I forgot who, but it's like they made it last time, but last chance qualifier last time, there wasn't that many good teams in that thing. You know, now you have like Liquid and you have all these other people.
We'll get to the last chance qualifier.
Okay.
So let's talk about. Okay, there was also Denial and Soul Red. We'll glance over these teams. Denial, they formed kind of last minute. They didn't perform at all, really. They got swept. I think they got swept. Yeah, maybe they took some. Yeah, did they take games? Yeah, they took games, but they didn't make it out of the bracket. And now Denial, I think, has split up. Arcanum tweeted that he is no longer going to compete in competitive Halo, and so that leaves Ogre and Seduce, and I think Nemesis left as well.
Really.
Soul Red, I think, is also making a roster change. I think Nemesis actually went to Soul Red, from what I've heard. And Liquid. Let's get to Liquid, because this was a big story that during this whole event.
Yeah.
APG. He shows up battered and he has stitches
in his
and
mouth.
Probably on pain medication,
Yeah.
and probably still played better than I would ever play on my best day.
Yeah.
So I think Liquid could have done a really well, and but the unfortunate circumstances that happened.
Yeah.
Then it comes to find out that APG had a major concussion that he didn't even know he had.
Yeah.
And he still was, showing up and ready to play, which I commend him for.
Yeah,
Exactly.
he said like he had to take before games. He had to take aspirin. The lights are giving him headaches.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
and
definitely
he didn't do that.
Shows
bad
a lot of
for that.
dedication from that guy.
a lot of dedication.
But it takes a lot to say, okay, I'm not doing good. I have to step down with someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what APG has said that I'm not sure if he said it's 100% official, but he probably is going to step down and Assault is going to fill the role until he feels like he's 100% to be able to play again. So
I feel like Assault will do good on that team.
yeah, Assault, he is a good player.
He's a good player.
He just needs a good squad.
Yeah.
And
He's never found a squad to play with.
Yeah.
I mean, when he was on the first Optic roster for a long time, they just never really amounted to much. I don't think they had chemistry or anything. But our predictions for last week, I predicted Group A Optic and RNG to come out on top. I was off by one, and then ALG and Envious, or Allegiance and Envious, was my second group, and I was right about that one. So
Yeah.
I was not too far off.
I was wrong on both.
Yeah, it's like Group A, I picked Optic and Renegades. B, I picked Envy and Liquid.
Yeah. Group A for me, I picked Optic and E6, and then Group B, Envy
Yeah.
and Liquid.
So
I scored 50%.
you were.
Go ahead,
I
Gio.
mean, but 50%. We only had to pick 4 teams.
Hey, I'm trying
It's
to look at
like-
it in a
I
better
think,
way.
Like Optic, I thought they was going to make it because they started out kind of like,
I
okay,
thought
they're back.
Optic-
I think I pounded it into your guys' head that Optic was going to make it.
Well,
I had like so
the
much
thing
faith
is,
in
they
them.
just-
I was
did
like,
too,
yeah,
but
Optic's going to
when
make
they
it.
started,
I think I
when they
swayed
came out in the
your.
series, they was doing good. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, they're back, but it just fell off, and
Yeah,
it's hard
they
to tell what did it.
they put out a video, and their video basically was like a 15-minute long description of tilting. They were like, he was like, yeah, we lost, and we started bickering, and we just didn't we were off our game, and he basically explained tilting for 15 minutes,
Yeah.
and he basically said that's why they lost.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that ninja that naded.
Amazing.
I mean, speaking of Optic, I mean, they didn't come out
They
without
did-
any
they
clips.
missed
Hey.
good plays. They had good plays, good moments.
They did
I
have
mean, they had a
good
play. They had a.
That's probably gonna be in his montage if he ever has
Oh
one.
yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, they definitely had that nice little ninja that he did on Ninja,
On Ninja.
with the OS.
Yeah.
That would have been
Huge
epic
play.
without the OS, but since he did it with the OS, I think we got the clip. If you want to roll that, yeah, there it is.
Look at that.
Okay, here it goes. Here it
Right.
goes. Oh, okay, that's sick. I don't even. That's like a different kind of ninja.
I know, right?
Like
It's like-
normally,
like he
when
turned
you go to
around.
ninja, you're just like, okay, he's gonna come behind me. I'm gonna thrust back, and I'm gonna. He
Yeah,
did a.
he didn't even thrust
did
behind
a
him. He
thing
just like
where he
swooped around him.
rotates around him, and I will never.
See, Naded is just good at controlling the game because he's also got that clip with Ace and how he got away and
His
came
ankle.
back.
Yeah,
ankle.
but now they're teammates, so they're friends, so it's all good. And with that said, we're gonna do. We used to do on our old show back in the day. We used to do Player of the Week, but I think we're gonna do Player of the Month now.
Yeah.
And this month is definitely the Player of the Month is definitely gonna be APG.
APG.
Because he is like
Got some dedication.
dedication. He's definitely the guy you want to have on your team because he looks for the team first.
Yeah.
He's definitely not selfish at
Yeah.
all.
I mean, yeah, he easily can be like, "Hey guys, I can't play,"
Yeah.
but he stuck it out and he was
Yeah.
there.
Especially, it happened right before the tournament too. Like,
Yeah, I know.
It's like, okay, I'm gonna still come. I'm gonna still
Yeah.
play.
So looking ahead, we have the open qualifiers.
Yep.
This weekend. An open qualifier, anybody can play. So if you feel like you're good at Halo, you should definitely sign up and get a team going. But it gets a little muddy in here, and a lot of people get confused about how this is going to work. So there's 2 open qualifiers, I think Saturday and Sunday, and the 2 top teams from both of those, I think, are the top 4 teams, or 2 from each one, will get spots in the last chance qualifiers. Well, there's already the 12 bottom teams from the 16-team invitational already have spots in the last chance qualifier. But what's happened was apparently only 5 of those teams held their spots for some reason. I don't know why, if they have made too many team changes, or they decided to play in the open qualifiers for some reason. I don't know what kind of strategy that is. So there's actually more spots open for the last chance qualifier. So a lot of teams could actually get into this. So it's a pretty good deal if you are an amateur team and you want to try to get into the pro league. You have a really good chance of getting in right now.
Yeah.
Because Halo's that type of game you can get on.
Yeah, you can get hot.
What if a team comes out there and wins?
I am the most inconsistent player on the planet. Sometimes I'm just so
really
on
good
it, and then some days I'm just trash. I probably
0-20. That's terrible.
Who did that?
That's about you.
I did that.
No.
I think I did that last night. Remember that last game?
Yeah, you didn't have 0 kills though.
No,
I didn't play last night.
I got destroyed that game last night though. I was. But anyway, yeah. Speaking of playlists and playing Halo, there's new settings in the Team Arena playlist, and this is important to the HCS because these settings are going to be the official HCS settings.
Well, right now they're testing all this stuff.
Yeah,
it's right now it's not official.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people freaking out about Fuel Rod on Truth and Saul on Fathom, but
yeah,
I don't understand why they. I've already talked about this before. I don't understand why this type of stuff needs to be tested when you kind of already know it's not going to work by just.
I mean, especially this far into the season, they don't have a lot of tournaments. Why did it change all this stuff at the last minute?
T-Squared made a video talking about that. He said that it makes it really hard for amateur teams that don't get into scrims to practice, for the qualifiers because now the settings in Arena have changed. So, I mean, that does kind of...
Well, they just said that custom games haven't changed.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the online has.
Yeah. We talked about this last time they changed things around. The setting, I don't really understand why they think certain things will work in certain maps, but they have a timeline, and right now they're in the middle of this timeline. It says until May 20th they're going to keep these settings that they have, and then they're going to update it again for the HCS Pro League.
They'll be locked in, right?
They said the final game types will be locked in on the 23rd, so basically,
not really much time.
It's
They
gonna
sort all that stuff out.
It's gonna change a lot in the next couple weeks.
Yeah,
it could, depending on. They said they're gonna consult pros and see what they think. So if the pros say
they
whatever,
always say that, but it seems like what they consulted with the pros is what they totally different what they wanted. So I don't know if
I'm happy that they got rid of what's that map? I can't think of it right now. But the storm rifles.
They got rid of storm rifles on Empire.
But
they replaced it. What was it? Bolt shot?
Bolt shot.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not a gun. But the thing is, they won't use it. They won't use that bolt shot. So it eliminates the storm rifle, and I'm happy with that.
I think having an AR at spawn is already enough automatic. I really don't think the maps need more automatics. SMG maybe, but storm rifle is a little overkill with automatics. There's just too many automatics on a map.
Bolt shot's not really.
But the storm rifle though, it's too overpowered for that small of a map to me, because everybody runs around with it, and literally if you come up on somebody and you're at decent range, you can just hold the trigger down for like a second and then beat down and they're dead. It's too much chaos with that gun on the map.
Yeah. So, what do you? Let's get off the Team Arena settings and let's talk about 2 weeks from now, because I think we skipped over it. The last chance qualifier. There's some pretty strong teams that. Well, I don't know actually, because we're not sure what teams are going to be in there anymore.
Exactly.
I mean, you got Optic and Liquid.
Yeah.
And those are like almost shoe-ins, but then there's Elevate. I don't know if they're going to play in LCQ. I think they might have went into the open bracket. And there's a couple more. There's Crowd Pleasers Crowd Control. Crowd Control. And then in the open qualifiers, you got teams like Straight Rippin'.
That's who I want to see.
See if you
That's
still
my
got
team.
it.
Well, not really my team. I just want to see
You
TC
just
back.
love the old Straight Rippin'.
I just want to see Straight Rippin' was.
I mean, I saw it.
I want to see him
don't
in
know-
the scene again.
I really
man.
didn't know all of the players he was have on his team. I don't really know who they are.
Straight Rippin' has
It's
everybody.
T squared, and whoever he finds
Yeah,
to
it's
play.
like, I don't
Nick
know,
Wynn's been
like-
Straight Rippin'. Snipe Down's been Straight Rippin'.
Maybe he found a good squad.
Nate has
and
been
he's
straight
just
ripping.
gonna destroy it. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, well, let's move on. And I don't know if everybody knows this that's watching, but we
Soul
did.
6. Hang on, before. Soul
We-
6 is going to be in Last Chance, right?
Like I said, I don't know because some teams are like,
I think
They didn't win,
not.
but they did really good. Like, all their games they lost were really close.
I think we're just not. We're just gonna have to wait and see. Like I saw something about only 5 teams having their spots.
all the teams were. They got 3-0'd by what was it?
Yeah, they might have got 3-0, but I'm saying the games that they lost were all real
that
close.
was close,
Yeah.
Yeah, they was really close. Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, if you watched our last show, did we
Pay
not? Yeah, we did
attention
announce
to
it on
our
our last
Twitter
show, and you pay attention to our Twitter. We did a Twitter giveaway of a Halo shirt made by the
Of
lovely
your choice.
people, UGC Studios, and an HCS Now shirt, and we did a Twitter giveaway. So the winner is going to be Hump Nader. At Hump Nader, that's
At
his
Hump
if
Yeah.
he is watching, or we'll
Congratulations.
message you,
Yeah,
and
DM
you
you.
will get your. Well, actually, you need to tell us your size.
Yeah,
and
your T-shirt
address
size and
was.
your address. and stuff.
We'll
Smaller.
hook you up with those new shirts. Now we're gonna move on, and if anybody is watching the show and wants to Discord with us and talk about,
It works now.
yeah,
Hopefully.
our TV's like freaking out right now, actually. If you want to talk about the Burbank LAN, or if you want to talk about the Last Chance qualifier,
Yeah.
or the open qualifiers that are happening, if we can get our TV to stop malfunctioning over here. It keeps shutting off and on randomly. It's possessed. So, come on, TV. It is definitely like freaking out over here. Okay, let's.
It should be on.
No, it won't stay on.
So that red light means it's off.
That means it's off.
It's on. It's off.
I think it's the power brick it's plugged into, to be honest.
Seems like we always have trouble with this.
Yes,
part
we
of the
always
show.
have to have technical
Every
difficulties.
time it becomes
It's
part of
like
the show.
Discord.
Discord or the
Well,
television.
Discord wasn't
or-
really a technical difficulty. That was just us not knowing how to use it.
Yeah,
I think we got it down this time.
We got it down this
I
time.
figured it out though.
Can you even put the link in the chat?
I can't put the link in the chat yet. But last chance qualifier, and I saw a list of the teams that were trying to play in the open qualifier, and I'm not sure if it's going to be streamed. I don't know. I doubt it. Probably players are going to stream it themselves.
I'm hoping it's streamed. They
Yeah.
should. Yeah, Halo should stream it.
Yeah, I thought that too. Remember when, let's see, it was the online qualifier, the 16-team online qualifier? I was a little bit disappointed that they didn't have casters.
I know. Speaking of casters,
Oh, your Golden Boy rant.
yeah.
I'm going to say,
Okay. I'm probably gonna be hated just for saying this.
why
but
would you get hated?
Because
You're saying something positive. Why would you get hated?
I'm not saying hated by him, but hated by the people who don't like him. But
There's nobody that doesn't like him. They said there was just people that didn't like his casting.
I
which
like his
liked.
casting.
We talked about this too the other day. It's like I like him. He's funny.
I like
He
his
is
casting.
he is
It's
knowledgeable.
enjoyable to watch. You know, it's not dull or anything. So I really don't understand what
Especially him and Walshy together.
Oh,
They're
that's
good.
my favorite
When they're both
duo.
together. That's good.
Walshy and Golden Boy together when they're casting is It's
you
fun.
need that. You need a little
Yeah.
like
true.
seriousness and like.
I mean,
comedy
it just
going
makes me
on.
wonder, like, if they say he's bad at casting, it's like, what is a good caster? Someone who's like,
Well, some people judge casting by knowledge of the game, and like the Golden Boy is not employed by 343. He works at Twitch, so he doesn't have all the. And he's involved in like a lot of stuff. Like every
Yeah.
time I look on Twitter, he's like casting a different game or like involved in something else. So he doesn't have the time to learn the
but it's not
professional
like
meta.
but yeah, but it's not like he don't know what's going on.
Yeah, he plays Halo a lot. I mean, I watch.
That's one of his favorite games is
Yeah.
Halo.
Yeah.
He is very knowledgeable. Like
I watch his streams, and he definitely plays a lot of Halo. So
I support Golden Boy.
I think we all do.
you want like a pin that says that?
I'm
You
gonna
put it on
wear
your shirt?
Golden
I'm
Boy
gonna
pin.
sew a
Is that a
little
what
emblem.
face on it?
Yeah.
So Golden Boy and Washi is your favorite casting duo?
That's
Yeah,
mine.
dude,
I
they're
like them
funny.
together.
I think mine.
Well, if I had all of them, I'd just.
As like enjoyable to watch
It
together.
would be. I would actually have.
It's actually a
Sims,
perfect
Walshy.
combo.
My
Okay.
duo, my casting duo, or it would probably be. I love Sims. He's hype.
Yeah, Sims is
And
good.
Golden Boy is hype, but he hasn't been getting as hype as he's used to.
Yeah.
I don't know why he dialed it down. I used to like his hype, but I guess a lot of people like don't like hype, but I do. So Sims I like, and I don't know. I feel like Walshy and Sims are the perfect combo because you got Sims as a hype play-by-play, and Walshy, which is he breaks it down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that duo is like one of
Which
them.
Sims is obviously not going to cast anymore.
Casting's been a big topic lately. A lot of people, are couch casters these days.
Yeah.
And it's a lot harder than people. If you want to like try to cast, if you actually sit down and you feel embarrassed because you're trying to do it to your cast when nobody's looking. You're just like talking to myself. It's probably a lot. If you want to try it, it's actually a lot harder than people.
Yeah, I'm sure
Have
it
you tried
is.
this?
Do what?
Have you tried this?
I
Are
thought
you
about.
sitting on your couch casting?
That's to say, he had his play. I was like, have you done this?
No, but it's a good idea to do that. I've thought about doing it.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sitting there on my couch going uplift.
You can cast yourself playing.
But like, I kind of like every once in a while when I'm watching, I think like, what would I have said during this moment? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not casting the whole game, but I think like, oh, I would have said this if I was casting this game.
Well, I mean, you could. I'd say that whenever after the show's over, I'm always thinking I could have said this or that.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I have what it takes to
I'm
cast.
saying like casting, like you said, casting is not really an easy job.
It's not.
You have to.
But
like,
there's also like you need the guy like Walshy who's knowledgeable and also entertaining
Yeah.
when he casts. But you have someone like Golden Boy who is knowledgeable of the game, but it's also really entertaining. But
Yeah.
them two together, they talk so much trash toward each other. It's really funny.
Yeah. So that's enough about casting. We don't want to bore everyone with casting. Let's get this
That make 'em
Discord
snipe.
thing started,
All right.
and we're gonna talk.
We are gonna
barely-
talk.
We're gonna talk to people.
They're gonna tell us that we don't know what we're talking about. And we should get off
That's
the show.
fine. I want people to tell me that just to let because I might
Well,
not know. what I'm
don't
talking-
say that. They probably wasn't thinking that. They was gonna mess with us.
All right,
Jeez.
putting link in chat, guys.
Giving people ideas.
Uh-oh. Join and let's discuss. I actually have a topic that I kind of want to bring up, but it causes so much.
Oh man.
what is this?
Yo, what's up?
What's going on?
Oh, we hear. You hear us?
All right, I have a topic.
Why?
Hey guys, hey. Somebody
What'd you
joined.
say?
I don't know. Somebody joined and then left really quickly.
Oh, he said bye.
He did say bye.
Yeah, he's like bye.
Maybe he just wanted to join and say bye.
He said what's up.
I kind of figure what you're about to bring up right now.
I can't see the screen very well because I got super small on me. Is this wood? I can't see it. Hello? Oh wait, did I mute us?
Hello?
Hello?
He probably didn't hear
Hello?
us. That's why he left.
No.
Oh, hey, what's up, man?
Okay, now you
Oh,
can hear.
yeah,
Is this
okay.
Wood? I can't see the screen.
This is Wood,
All
man.
right, man.
He's in
Wood
the
from the
building.
Team Beyond forums. We need to get some more people in here. Did I put the link out? Yeah, it's like. I have a topic that I kind of want to bring up. I wanted to bring it up in Discord because it's kind of a controversial topic, and
Oh,
it's something
man.
I don't. We usually stay away from this topic.
Yes.
Controversy is my middle name these days.
Oh, here we go. Pick the
Alright.
right person.
Okay, we usually I don't get involved in this because I just don't. I don't know. So the topic is power rankings.
Uh-oh.
Kind of figured he was going
Oh,
to bring that
man.
up.
Oh, he said, oh, no. I heard.
Now, I know I never really understood the whole deal with power rankings. Until I come into Team Beyond forums and I see just like a complete meltdown on power rankings. So I actually submitted our own power rankings. We'll see those, I guess, in a week or so. I usually don't do them. And mine are literally based off nothing other than how I feel.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean that's honestly how it should be. It's so hard to base power rankings off all these online scrims because teams like Renegades, who I follow a lot, tend to try new things in scrims. So it's very hard for them for me to judge how well they're performing based on all these new strats and new starting strats they're trying. So
Yeah.
I really just want to base mine off of like LAN performance, but we just don't have a lot of LAN performance to go by.
Right.
Yeah.
It's true.
Anybody else in Discord want to talk about power rankings?
See,
There's someone else.
the
just
power
joined.
rankings pretty much just go by numbers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
I mean you can do it by numbers. Like you can hash all these numbers together and come up with
See,
it.
I don't always think numbers, like he was saying, they don't always tell the truth about the team.
I
You
think
know
Tally
what
made a video about
Yeah.
that. He said he don't agree with stats
I
either.
mean? Yeah.
It doesn't really tell the true player. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, you can
That's
have a
right.
lot of kills, you can have a lot of damage, but it doesn't tell you about the whole team either.
exactly.
Yeah, I normally don't get into it. Actually, once I submitted my power rankings, I kind of liked doing it. So maybe we should start doing
What
it
was
more
yours?
often.
Oh
I didn't know
man,
who'd
here
you
we go.
pick?
Power ranking.
I'm
person.
addicted. Let's do some more power rankings.
Start a fantasy
Watch,
I
league.
love it.
Watch next week. You're like, I take it back. I love Power
There's
Rankings.
just we're just gonna do the whole show for. It's just gonna be.
We're gonna have a
rankings.
power ranking segment.
Yeah.
Well, it's fun. It's just really fun to see, people's different opinions on who they think is the best and who they think matches up the best with CLG, and clearly no one does
No
right now.
one.
So
Yeah.
it's definitely a fight for second, and honestly, that spot after this LAN is so misconstrued right now. There's just so many teams that underperform or overperform, or maybe they weren't overperforming. Maybe that's just how they're going to perform. Like
Yeah.
Envy, you guys were saying earlier, definitely not online warriors, but they just showed out at the LAN.
Yeah,
So
they did.
it's just so hard
Yeah.
to see a clear-cut second right now.
Yeah. It is, and that's where it gets messy. Like you got CLG, but then after, like when I was doing my power rankings, I like CLG, and then I put EG, and that was kind of easy for me. And then when I got to third, I was like, because there's like it's so
Well, that's the
even.
thing. I think this is the top three itself. It just everyone, because I mean, I know some people have Renegades a second, some people have EG a second. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, I like when I couldn't decide. Like I think I went with Renegades, and then it got even worse when I got
For
to fourth,
second?
For
third.
Oh,
It got even harder when I got to fourth, because then I was like E6,
I never made
envious.
one. I never made a power
Yeah.
ranking, but I'm not
yeah.
sure
Well, the
if I
top
put
five in
Renegade
general
6
is just like really
or
tough
second.
It
Yeah.
is.
rank right now.
It is really hard. Like when
You could interchange all of them.
yeah, you could, and it can go either way, anytime.
Yeah,
And
because all
so
these teams are like, they can beat each other anytime.
Halo 5 is
Yeah, oh,
proven
yeah.
to be a game. Like CLG seems to be the only really consistent team, and a lot of teams.
Yeah.
So
The thing is, like you see some of these scrims, and some of them end like most of them these days are ending like 6-7, 7-6. So if the team that wins 7-6, is that even really considered beating them in a scrim when you only
Yeah,
win by
that's
one
the thing.
game?
Yeah.
So it's just like how do you manage that? It's so difficult to do stuff like that.
yeah. And a lot of people are saying that we'll definitely have a better understanding of power rankings once the league actually starts. Like these qualifiers are kind of messy, so
Yeah,
will definitely
Let's hope
understand
so.
it a lot
Well,
better.
I guess I gotta make one since you made one.
I know I gotta make.
I
one
made
now.
one. It's ours.
Well, I didn't get.
It's not-
I
it's
didn't
not-
get input on this.
Yeah,
No,
but
no, no.
Oh,
See
my.
what's?
I didn't get no input.
Herb oil.
I made it for. This is an HCS Now Power Ranking, but only I decided.
Well, if
what-
it's wrong, if it's wrong, it's all his fault.
Yeah. So who do you have for second?
I don't remember. I'll have
He
to
said
go
EG.
look. I'm not
He
gonna
said
try.
COG, EG.
I'm not, and they're not getting released yet. So
Well, we got to talk about this next time because I
No.
want to know what
don't worry about.
places you put.
Don't worry about what I put. This is, it's our power ranking.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you guys decided. So, what did you guys think about the Burbank LAN? Were you surprised by the E6 and Allegiance showing up?
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
oh, you can go first.
I don't know. It's just I was really, really impressed with Envy. I mean, granted, there were issues with APG, and we saw from the stats. Shout out to the stats guys. It's amazing
Mm-hmm.
stats that APG had a really hard time. I think he had a 0.5 overall KD and like a 0.7 KAD,
Yeah.
and so that's like all-time low numbers for him
Yeah.
in a LAN. So those struggles were definitely present, but I was very impressed with Renegades after the fact when they beat Optic at the end. Not so much in the beginning. Actually, I will say that had Ninja not gotten ninja'd by Native, that's fast, they might have won that game because Ninja had Overshield, commonly had a sniper. It just is everything was in their favor. They had the
Right.
setup. It was looking really, really good. And that just changed the entire game. And that
Probably
was
one
the
of
final
the top
game.
5 pro.
Yeah, that was.
It
a
was-
Oh,
good
yeah.
I'd say.
play
That was a
made.
huge play.
I can't even begin to describe the amount of talent that play took
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
do that on
It's
the.
like hovered around. him,
Well,
like-
just the split second reaction to know I'm going to ninja this guy with overshield. Like as soon as I see this dude, he's getting it.
Oh yeah,
Like,
and,
just
and
imagine
Native is
if
no
it-
stranger to that. Native remember
Yourself.
the infamous Ace ankle breaking when they
Right.
were playing
Right.
on Coliseum. I mean,
They-
he's just a highlight reel.
Native,
Yeah.
Native's movement is like off the charts, right? It's probably like in Halo 5. That's the thing. Like we used to judge players by their shots, their positioning.
Mhm.
In Halo 5, it's a new meta. It's
Yeah.
movement. We're
It's
judging
movement,
players
yeah.
by their movement, and that's like something we never had before. But a lot of people don't talk
I know.
about who has the best movement in the game. You didn't.
Well,
we
you
talk
can
about
talk a strafe,
strafes.
yeah, strafing.
Strafing, and this is like it's completely different.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people use the same strafe, so it's just like left, right, jump to the right, thrust to the left.
Yeah.
Like, and that strafe in itself creates a little bit of a skill gap. But once you can start hitting the shots while you're doing that strafe, that's what kind of starts
Yeah.
separating you. And then you have to start like crouch strafing, and then
Yeah.
and then it's just based on movement. But
Yeah.
I mean, even T2 right now, like I matched T2 in arena the other day. He has a really good shot. It's just like sometimes I watch him and it's just like the map positioning. It's not there. I don't think he's evolved in that sense yet.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah, but
man.
this
I
new
wanted
movement
to see
system.
him show up. Like,
You
hard.
do. You're
No, it's
such
like,
a
he's streaming, like, he's streaming,
fanboy.
like I said, he has good shot and stuff. He's still decent, and it's like, yeah, like you said, I don't think he still fully understands the movements of
He's
Halo
the
5.
biggest fanboy.
I'm not a fanboy. I just like to see someone like him in the scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got. Looks like we got some more people in Discord.
Yeah, Trailblazer, what's up, man?
Hey.
Your TV's on.
That's for sure. What the fuck?
Or an ad.
Y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
We can.
I thought
we
I would
can.
be. Oh, it's weird. I couldn't unmute myself. Or I couldn't mute myself. I didn't know I was already unmuted.
No.
We can hear you. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
I didn't jump in for anything specific. I just thought I'd, see if I had anything to add on anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say what we used to talk about strafes, but now like what the players can do is like stall in the air, ground pound one way, thrust the other way. It's like what Native did to Ace that one time.
Yeah,
that
what
bad
shows
thing
you that
happened.
ground pound is a tool now.
It
It's
is,
not
like-
just a way to
crazy.
kill somebody. It's used for movement.
We can,
Yeah, I guess-
go ahead.
I would have probably just added, as far as like the native play, because everyone talked about how skilled it is. I mean, I hate to say it, but I would say that's more of a mistake with the overshield guy. I mean, I think obviously it's kind of in the back of a lot of people's minds, but like, yeah, I think there's a lot of better plays happening probably in that match, and that was more of a mistake than a good play.
But
I don't even know how the play
it was still great reaction, but it was Ninja should have never been on an island with one guy over his head in the first place.
Right. And that's typical Ninja for you, being over aggressive. I love Ninja. The forums let the forums know. You know, I'm a full on Ninja fanboy, but that's just typical over aggressive Ninja because he had two people with him on the bridge there, and they all could have just laid into him.
Yeah.
But instead, you know, he tried to go for the back smack or whatever he wanted to do.
It's hard
known for
to
that.
be aggressive in Halo 5 because of radar. So if you're you know, you have to be really stealthy aggressive, and it's very hard to just be straight aggressive, and it's all because of radar. I mean, you have guys crouch walking around being very passive, but then the guys that are very aggressive are always getting seen and they're always going to get taken out. So it's very hard.
I mean, but the thing is, like, how much does radar like actually have an effect in like pro games these days? 'Cause, I mean, I was in Spartan the Dog stream, and he said that, I mean, people who argue for radar or against radar, I mean, they don't know what they're talking about because the game is just so fast paced that it has like little effect.
Yeah, I mean, there are just those certain
crouches a
times
lot,
where you're
so-
like playing Ring Around the Rosie in like center of Coliseum or like on somebody's flag or something. And it's just like you're just playing cat and mouse, and I think those are the situations that no one wants to get into. It's not the crouch plays. The crouch plays are the crouch plays. You would have those in a regular game too, without radar. But it's just like the Ring Around the Rosie type deal that happens so much, like on red and blue corner on Coliseum, especially where there's that splinter nade and people are sniping. You can just jump around in a circle for like a minute just because of radar.
Yeah.
So we talked on E6 and Renegades a little bit. What do you guys think about Allegiance showing up?
Love it. I've said it time and time again. If you guys haven't tuned in to Ryan Noob's stream at the end of a scrim, they're so constructive. Ryan Noob especially, man. They're just like, hey. He'll preface. He's like, hey, I'm not arguing with you. I'm not saying you were doing anything wrong. I'm just saying this could be better. And so it's
He's
just really
definitely
great.
one of the smarter minds in Halo.
Yeah,
So-
Ryan Noob is definitely smart.
Yeah, we interviewed Ryan Noob about 5 months ago when he was on Winter Fox.
Yeah.
And he definitely is one of the smartest. Like, he can break Halo down into a science better than any player. And it showed when he casted the other day. He taught me so much. I was like,
that casting.
So yeah, I couldn't understand anyone being surprised by the Allegiance because if you consider that team with Contra and Devin, how good they were with Hugh and Boo Boo Doo Boo. I think like there's no debating. Obviously, Ryan Noob's like a top tier player. You can't say that he's not better in some way or another than those two guys.
Right.
And then
Yeah,
Goofy,
I think he just had a really
no
bad
one knows for
break
sure
on
about
that.
Goofy, but he's high energy and that fits well for Halo 5 and for that team.
yeah.
And he's always, he's good at every Halo game. He's at least solid.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
like
not
I
to
said, Ryan
discredit
needs an
anything.
improvement.
6 is a good team too. I really like Shooter. Booba Doobu's my man. Hook is great. And Kratos, love him or hate him, he's got a really good shot, and he's, maybe he's not consistent.
Yeah,
He kind of shows up and doesn't show up, but when he shows up big. But other times he'll breadsticks. So you take the good with the bad with Kratos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you throw Allegiance in the mix showing up, that's when it gets messy in the power rankings because you got E6, Envy, Allegiance, and Renegades, and they're all, and EG even, they're not even really any farther above them, so it's like,
Right.
it gets real messy with the power rankings. I want to look ahead to LCQ a little bit. Do you guys think Liquid with Assault is going to perform and get in, and do you think Optic is going to choke and get in, or not get in?
It's hard to say, man.
It
Elevate
depends
looks
on
so good.
brackets, too. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't know if Liquid and Optic are going to be the same side of the brackets. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you
I think-
remind me, for someone like me that doesn't know off the top of my head, is it one tournament for 2 places or just 1 place?
Well, I mean, it's 2 days. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So
So
I
if
think
like
it's going to be 2 different brackets.
So if like Liquid, it's for some reason plays Optic in like day 1, when one of them loses,
Right.
one of them can go back the next day and win it and not
Oh,
have
right,
to play
but at
Liquid.
the end of it all, does only one team get the qualifier?
No, there are
or is there
two
gonna be
spots.
two?
There are
No,
two
two
spots,
spots
yeah.
left.
Okay, so Liquid and Optic already have spots.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, and so these, I didn't understand what the strategy was for teams to leave their spot in the LCQ and play in the open bracket. Is there a strategy to that?
Well, I think it was just they wanted to give themselves the best chance to win
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
the losers bracket, and I think so. We had like Nemesis leaving Denial and
Yeah.
Juicy Fruit getting dropped from Soul Red.
Yeah.
Or was this Soul Red? So it's very, and I think they were only allowed one team
One-
change
yeah, and
to stay in. So
Mhm.
a lot of moves had to be made, like
Yeah.
you guys said before. Arcanum is taking a break, so. And who knows what Ogre 2 and Seduce are going to do. I've
Yeah.
played Seduce one time in my life, and he had 25 kills in a Slayer game. He is the absolute truth.
Yeah.
Really, really good player.
Yeah, so
So I really
Denial
hope-
definitely
really hope they
forfeited
figured.
their spot for
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And so
Absolutely.
basically that leaves a lot of open spots for just about any team can jump in
Yeah.
and get a spot in the last chance
It's
qualifier
definitely
now.
gonna be harder this time
Yeah.
around.
The meme team, who knows? Show
Yeah,
up.
dude.
I mean,
Gosh,
I'm sure
I
it's-
would lose my mind if the me got into them. But there are a lot of good teams. There are a lot of players. So I watch a lot of Halo, and I have a lot of top tier amateur friends that they're putting together some really solid teams that routinely take games off of pro teams online, and it's going to be. I think there's going to be some shocking teams in there and some new faces. I think
yeah.
it's going to be very, very, very interesting.
Oh yeah. The way I see it right now, I mean, it's a crazy time in Halo in the sense that I think there's a bigger gap between the two team, whoever that is, to the one team CLG. There's a
Yeah.
bigger gap there than like the 20th team to the second team, and that sounds crazy, but I think that's true. I think
I
the
agree.
20th
That's-
team will compete better against EG or whoever Allegiance
point.
than EG will compete against CLG. Like,
a
it's
great
never
point,
been like
man.
that until this Halo, I think,
Yeah,
and I've
yeah.
been following since Halo 3. Like,
Agreed.
Hmm.
It's a good point, man.
It is.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting couple of weeks. We're definitely going to cover it. So whatever happens next week or this weekend in the Opens and next weekend in Last Chance, we will know who the top 8 pro teams are going to be. Now, there's one thing I want to bring up. Do you guys feel that just the 8 spots is causing players like Arcanum to be like, well, if I can't play in the pro league, then there's no point in playing? Do you feel like it's pushing players away for not being able to play in the? Do you feel like?
I kind of do. I think 16 would at least be a better, more reasonable place to start if you want to like make it an accessible community, accessible tournaments, to kind of like put
Yeah.
people out on a permanent stance like that. And only 8 teams, 32 players. That's not very much. So
Right.
I would say yes.
The other side of that, I think the top 8 players or the top 8 teams, they really like the exclusiveness. They like the reputation that they get for
Oh
making
God,
it
it's
into
great for them. It's great for who's in it.
So
But you got to
so
put
it's really good for the egos.
you
You
got to
know?
put yourself in a pro player's shoes that's been a pro player his
Yeah.
entire career,
That's
and
true.
now he has to play against amateur teams because he couldn't make it into the very exclusive 8-team spot. I mean, that's definitely going to
rough.
be hard on you, and it's definitely
you know,
going to.
Yeah, and I think that stems. Arcanum said it himself. He kind of shot himself in the foot when he made that rash decision to leave Winterfox and go play with Ogre 2 and Pistola on Envy that first time around in the Halo World Championship, because I really do think that Winterfox was taking games off of really good teams, and I think they were going to be the Winterfox of old, the Winterfox that upsets a big team. But Arcanum left when he had a really stable team thing, and then that kind of just wound up screwing over Envy and Winterfox because Winterfox had to get a last minute replacement. So
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of bitterness there.
Yeah, I think that the problem with this 8-team pro league is that Halo is not a very big esport. So if you're not in the pro league, you're not doing anything.
That's true.
If you're in like league or you're in the challenger league, that's fine because there's a lot of big teams there.
Yeah.
But if you're not in the pro
Right.
league in Halo, you're basically just not. You're not playing, and I mean, I could see it driving good players away, like because they can't get in.
Yeah.
And it's all about like forming a good squad, but maybe and also it's a catch-22. You could also get teams out of nowhere that could get in. So I mean, it's definitely a touchy subject, but I personally think it should be 10 teams.
10.
Yeah, I think that's
if I can pop in for a minute,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I don't want to overtalk Trail or you, but I think honestly it should be either 12. Gotta go. You leave 2 extra spots for 2 AM teams and maybe make it into Pro League or something to that effect. Because Arkham leaving, that you know what I mean? It hurts in a sense for the amateur teams. That if you read what they're saying and what's going on, they feel like they're being kind of like shelved to the side.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
They're getting shelved a little bit, and they're like, "Hey, we only have 2 chances to get into this." Meanwhile, these other guys, or am I overthinking it?
They will have more chances to get in. The Challenger League, the way it works is I think the top 2 Challenger teams play the bottom 2 Pro League teams weekly, or is that weekly? I can't remember, but if they
play in the
beat
weekly Pro League matches,
the bottom 2 pro teams, then they do get into the Pro League. So they're definitely not out once the qualifiers are over.
Yeah.
It's just I've been reading. I follow a couple amateurs over on my Twitter, and I've seen a couple of them go, "What's the point of us what's the point of us scrimming and doing all this work that we're gonna go into it's gonna be a 1 game or 2 game chance, and we can get knocked out."
Mm-hmm.
And I've also seen people say to them, "Well, you win, don't lose." It's like,
Yeah.
well,
Saying
what happens
like,
if we
be
get
good.
put up against, let's say, Optic Gaming for some reason, LCQ? And I said it too. I think I said it on here. LAN versus a LAN event versus is a whole different animal. We saw that happen at Burbank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
it's so much harder to go pro in Halo now than it was in Halo 3 or even Halo 2, even Halo 4.
Reach.
Even Reach, yeah, it was actually pretty easy to be considered a pro in those games. They had a lot of new faces, and the level of competition. Like if you went back and got the top Reach teams and played like the top Halo 5 teams, and you met in the middle and you played like a different game, I think the skill set is just better. People's aim is more crisp, and it's just the players have gotten better with each game.
Yeah,
It's just so much harder to break through.
A lot of open brackets back then, open tournaments, and also I think Halo 5 is so drastically different online and on LAN. I mean, it's showing that teams online and teams on LAN are like night and day, and that's the problem. This pro league is gonna be like probably 99% online.
Yeah.
And that.
Oops, sorry.
Go ahead.
Like I was saying, like I said, I said it on here, and I even tweeted it out. I'm saying Optic wasn't going to do good at Burbank because they were doing great in their scrims. They were doing good. They were winning their scrims. They were winning it by a large margin. They go into Burbank. What happened? They lost.
Mm-hmm.
You have 2 guys at the Optic house. The other 2 were at their own homes.
Yeah.
Online is a whole different animal versus a LAN, and we're playing on. They're not playing on an online connection across, I don't know, 1,000 miles of area in the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think this is why gaming houses are going to become more and more a thing. Envy, they're going to a gaming. Is it Envy? They're going to a gaming house.
It is Envy.
They're going to spend months there. Optic, they always have their gaming house, and I think.
Well, Nate is not going to be there.
Whoa.
Yeah, he probably will be there sooner or
He'll
later.
come,
But this is
they're gonna have boot camps.
This is why gaming houses are becoming a thing, because it's so much cheaper to do online tournaments than to do a full on LAN. So unfortunately, we all love LANs. Everyone likes LANs. Nobody likes seeing online tournaments, but it's just how things are until things get bigger.
Once you get to the CS:GO, I don't know if Halo will ever reach the CS:GO levels. I mean, it's predicted. So ESPN predicted that CS:GO will overtake viewership of esports like in the next year or so. It's been steadily rising. There was 1 million people in a Twitch stream. There were 1 million people watching the CS:GO finals. I think that's just incredible.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Halo 5 will ever reach those numbers, but
I hope.
I think if it even gets anywhere close, that's when we start getting those lands.
Yeah.
100% agree with that. The other thing that Halo really needs to look at, and Wood, you probably know what I'm going to be getting at right here, is that you need to be able to open up to a different demographic of people.
Mm-hmm.
That you have the Optic fans who just come in to watch Optic and then they leave.
Yeah.
You come in, I think it was when I was watching it, there was at 12,000 viewers, and all of a sudden Optic came in, it was 19,000, 24,000 people. And then after Optic got off, those fans left. They went to go watch another stream, or they just got off the computer.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is you have Optic, but you don't have a lot of these other teams don't have a strong fan base, and a lot of these streamers, a lot of these guys on these other teams don't make the content.
They
don't. Sorry, thank you. You beat me to the punch.
I've said this multiple times that if a lot of the players would produce content like Optic did, I think the fan base would grow
They definitely
a lot
would.
faster.
Yeah, we talked about that show, like,
and it's
12 times.
beneficial not only to them but just to everything and everyone. Like Optic, they live off their revenue from their content. And they don't even have to work full-time jobs. They can game all day because of that. So they definitely
They can make a minute-long video and they'll still gain viewers.
And because of that, they have the time to put in to grind. And
it just boils down to work ethic, man. I remember in one of the Optic podcasts, they were talking about the Halo team and who they were going to pick up when they were talking about picking up Maniac, and they didn't look at. I mean, they looked at skill certainly, but they looked at work ethic, and they looked at people who were going to be willing to put out content, because that's the biggest problem with a lot of these Halo players is that, and it's infamous within the community. The pros will say it themselves that Halo players are very lazy. They just want to get on and they want to play Halo. They don't want to dedicate
sit down
themselves
and make
to
content.
YouTube. Yeah, they don't want to edit a video. They don't know how to edit videos. All they know how to do is pull things off their streams. So there's
T-Squared video. That right there shows you how he could have done that. He could have been streaming that game and just got it from his POV. Instead, he went into theater and just cut it from theater.
Yeah, I mean, so it's just like the laziness is rampant through the Halo community, and I think as a community, they just need to step it up.
Yeah.
Even vlogs, man, like 3 vlogs a week would change everything. People love to see in the lives of a Halo player.
Yeah. I've been wanting to see a lot of players do daily vlogs. I watch them. They may sound like they would be boring to watch, but I watch them, and a lot of people watch them. They're just interesting to see the life of a pro player. Not everyone's a pro player, so some people want to see how they live, and it's pretty cool.
Snipedown did some content for a little bit, didn't he?
I'm not really sure.
He did some Vine videos.
Yeah, he does Vines, but there's plays he does.
Oh.
It's not
I
vlogs.
mean, it's getting better. Towie is doing a really good
I
job.
love Towie's content. Props to Towie for putting out the content, for sure.
You know what I would like to see? What you guys are doing right now is the teams get on, they sit down, they have everybody in the Skype call or something that they can see everybody, and they have a podcast kind of a thing. Be like, hey, let's talk about topic with this topic, and then the team.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it would be an interesting concept to have two teams just sit down and talk Halo. And talk about past experiences and what they think about the state of the game. That would be an awesome show. I mean, that would just grow huge. That would
it's
grow.
Definitely coming. Look at the evolution of esports with Yahoo Esports and ESPN Esports. That's definitely well on their way. And I know ESPN Esports is looking for Halo writers and Halo interviewers. Currently, so. Though that time will come,
Moses.
and it's very interesting.
Moses.
I'm sorry. I beat Moses at one
man.
point. We're at odds, and then I said something, and he said something, and I actually kind of agree with him. He does a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, Moses. He's great.
Cool. He's a great guy. So thank you guys for coming on the show. Hopefully you guys will be back next week. We'll do another Discord.
Sure.
I love talking to the community. I love talking to you guys about everything. We love talking Halo. So if you guys will come back next week, we'll be here.
Spread the word. Get more people in.
Yeah, be sure to follow our Twitter at HCS_now. We are always doing giveaways, and we're We'll have times for the show. Sometimes we'll have interviews for the show. We'll let you guys know ahead of time who's going to be in the show. The show always has been at Friday, 8 p.m. Central at this Twitch address. Thanks to the guys here at UGC. Check out their store. They have a lot of cool merchandise. They have pro player shirts. They have Halo shirts. Everything. They have shirts that are customizable.
Yeah,
you can put your gamer tag on them.
Twitter tag on
Your
them.
Twitter tag. It's pretty cool. And so thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next Friday night.